Oh, welcome back to that one life. You know, could be your life, could be my life, could be anybody's life. Everybody wants that one life. You know what I mean? It might be a little noisy in here today because I got a new addition to the garage. You know, given that it's 115 degrees outside, I went and finally got me a swamp cooler. So it's 115 out in the driveway. It's about 92 in here. Yeah, it's a little warm. Anyways, this video today, I'm going to do a little bit of discussion about some things like Mamba, for instance. Yeah, introducing you to Mamba. Let's span over and take a look at her, shall we? Here's Mamba. I got this in 2020. This is a 2020 fxbb, or as most people would know, she is a street bob. This thing, like I told you before, is a blast, and I absolutely love this thing. So, given that it's 115 degrees, obviously I'm not going to do any riding videos today. See, I believe in riding with a helmet. I know a lot of guys, they make fun of me, laugh at me, things like that when it comes to riding with a helmet. But truth be told, I'd rather have a little bit of safety. So, I mean, race car drivers get into a race car with a helmet and a tube chassis made out of chromoly around them. So, I don't really see it as a bad thing to have a little protection when you're on the road. So, we'll talk a little bit about this bike. I went down to Harley the first time, and I'll try to sneak in a picture of my other bike. I originally had an iron, and I hadn't ridden a bike or owned anything like that in like 10 years. So I wanted something to have some fun with again, you know, because there's nothing like being on two wheels. If you're an avid rider and you've been on two wheels and you've been on the road, even in the dirt, wherever, you know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling of ultimate freedom. You know, it's like that day that you turn 16 and you go get your license and you can get in your car for the first time and take it for a drive. That's kind of the feeling you get every single time you get on a bike. So it's just one of those things where I guess it gives you a bunch of endorphins in your head. I don't know, but it's very addicting. It's a lot of fun. I got some boys that I ride with, some really good guys. My buddy Dean, you'll see him on the videos. He's got a sweet little bike, little orange 883 Harley Davison, and we'll touch base about that because there's tons of bikes out there, and I guess a lot of people would be wondering, like, why would you buy a Harley? Okay, so you remember I told you before in another video that I'm big about culture, car culture, history, things like that. Now, I know Harley Davison, they're not like, you know, they're talked down to or down about a lot, but realistically, they're wonderful bikes and they're a blast to ride. They're a lot of fun. They're noisy, they're grunty, they got all this bottom end torque. They're all kinds of fun on the road. So no, it's not the fastest thing out there, and it'll get handled pretty easy by a lot of these modern day street bikes. But that's not what it's about. See, the reason why I wanted a Harley was because I have some power when I want to get out there and get going, but I want to be able to, like, slow it down a little bit. I know that's kind of funny because it's not what I'm all about, but when it pertains to this thing, that's kind of what I'm all about. You take in all the sights around you and all the things around you. You go a little bit slower. It's a lot more comfortable. And hey, let's face it, you know, I'm 40 years old. Being on a crotch rocket right now is probably not going to be very comfortable. So, with that being said, I wound up getting rid of the iron because I was hunched over. It was a pretty aggressive stance, and I wound up buying this thing. Now this thing has I don't know, roughly 100 and something horsepower engine. I'm not going to get into details on that, but it's got a 6th gear, and that allows me to get out on the road, to click it into 6th gear, and, you know, anywhere between 70 to 90, it doesn't matter. It's comfortable to ride. and I could get on it and ride from here to Vegas, no problem. So I don't know, there'll be a lot of more riding videos and things coming up when the weather gets a little bit better, or maybe I'll do some night riding. But yeah, right now at 115 on an air-cooled bike, it's not the most comfortable thing out there, especially when you got other vehicles to choose from. So the thing that grabs me about this bike is I've always been that bobber kind of guy. I don't get me wrong, I ain't hating on baggers. I love, you know, baggers, road glides, street glides, even road kings. All those are beautiful bikes. But for me, I like the bobber. So when I went in and looked at this bike initially, took it for a test ride, I decided, yeah, you know what, it's comfortable, it's a smoother ride than what I'm on. I'm in a better riding position. The guys over at Superstition Harley, they did me a solid, you know, on my trade-in, and they did me a solid with the price on this bike. So with everything kind of aligned the way it did, I couldn't say no. I just went ahead and bought it. Now, I did do a few things to this, of course, because you know me, I don't leave anything stock. So I'll pan over, hang on here. So of course the fairing right here, okay, so this is a Memphis Shades fairing. I do definitely recommend it if you're going to do a lot of freeway riding, because this Memphis Shades, it kind of protects you. You're not fighting the wind the whole time on your chest. Of course, you got to have your, you got to have your road bell down there. And then, I upgraded the wires. I put a smoothie gas cap on it. I've got a mount here for my phone. Another thing I like about this is it's got this really neat digital display system in it, and you would think it's hard to see during the day, but actually it's really easy to see. So I put a bag on it so that I could have a little bit of storage room, because these things don't have much. And I got me a nice Saddleman seat. It's very comfortable. And this right here, this little section right here sits kind of in the small of your back, so when you do get on it and crank on it and have a good time, you don't have to worry about sliding off the seat. And then I put another bag up here above the headlight so that I'd have a little more storage. So I do plan on doing some longer trips on this thing. Of course, I upgraded the lights. The headlight on this thing's pretty cool. It does come with LEDs and everything in it already, but it did not have LEDs in the back or in the front for turn signals or brake lights, so I went ahead and changed that around. As you can see here, got some Vance & Hines pipes set up for it, and I put a Screaming Eagle air filter system on it. This bike is also tuned by Harley Davison, because I wanted to be able to keep my warranty, because Harley Davison ain't nothing cheap about when it comes to parts and service. So I've done a couple oil changes. I don't even know what the mileage is. I think it's like 3,600 miles I put on it since I've had it. So in 1 year I put 3,600 or 3,800 miles on it, something like that. And I don't regret any of them. I don't have any purchase regret. I don't have anything on it. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, if you get out on the road and you get that freedom feeling, like that 16-year-old kid with his first car, every single time you get on it and you twist the throttle, and it's just a lot of fun. And I don't know, I guess maybe being vulnerable, being out in the open, it gives you kind of a little bit of an adrenaline pump. I don't know. But I'm not a hardcore biker or anything. I'm just a novice that really enjoys it. And once again, like I said, the whole thing about Harleys, it's one of the oldest manufacturers around of motorcycles. So there's a lot of heritage. There's a lot of things that come with this bike. So it's almost like, you're gonna call me weird, but it's like when you get on this bike and you ride around, it's like the souls of all the past Harleys are following you. They're with you, because it's just got so much heritage with it, and there's a big following, and kids love it. yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys that like metric bikes, which I'm not downing them. Metric bikes are awesome bikes. They're all good bikes. But for me, I like the Harley. Definitely like the Harley. So in the future, this one here, I'm going to upgrade the oil pump because it's got a Milwaukee 8, and Milwaukee 8s are known for oil pump issues. So I'm going to, well, the factory ones anyways, I'm going to put a S&S pump in it when I have the funds. I'm also going to be putting a new cam in it, and a few other little things to get it pushed over the limit of where I want. As far as everything else on the bike, I have no complaints. I'll ride it just how it is forever, as long as she still goes. The bike comes with really nice tires already on it. The brakes are, they're okay. They could definitely be upgraded. If I had the money, I would do is I would change out the front end on this, the front forks, and I would put a system in here for dual disc front brakes, because she's a little heavy. She's about 600 and some odd pounds. So you're doing 80 miles an hour and you need to grab a fistful of bike or brake with your bike. It could get a little sketchy. But if you're just putting around and cruising around like I do most of the time, it's great. I mean, I get in it, I bear down, I have some fun from time to time, but I don't get radical. I don't get dumb anymore. I'm too old for that. So I wanted to just take a minute and introduce that part of the channel here. It's going to be old Mamba, and old Mamba's going to have a lot of videos that are going to come, because I got a GoPro system that I'm going to mount to my helmet so I can video while I'm out, and I'm going to be putting and posting those videos up. Plus, you'll get to meet some guys along the ways. Maybe we'll go to a Harley dealer or something like that and meet some guys and have a good time. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoy, and if you got any questions, leave a comment. Like I said, I can fill you in as far as I know. And thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Have a good one.